In this video, we're going to look at section 6-6, solving inequalities involving absolute value. So before we move on, we got to remember absolute value is always positive or zero. It's never negative, and it's the distance from zero. So knowing that definition will help us with some problems as long as we can remember that. So what we're going to talk about now is different types. This is absolute less than, okay? So it's the absolute value with a less than symbol. And remember that, take key note of that word less than. Okay? Less than correlates to and. So this is an and type problem. So when you say the absolute value of x is less than 5, it translates to -5 is less than x, which is less than x. So you take the negative of the number after the inequality and put it up front. Okay? And then the absolute greater, okay, take note of that or symbol. The absolute value of x is greater than n. So it becomes, we lost the x, it disappeared for some reason. X is less than -5 or x is greater than 5. Okay, so keep that in mind. So always be thinking of those words to yourself. So let's go through a couple problems. So solve each open sentence, then graph the solution set. So absolute value of t plus 5 is less than. So since it's less than, I'm going to take the negative of the number, -9 is less than the inside plus 5, t plus 5 is less than 9. So I'm at an and type problem. So now I'm just going to subtract 5 from all three sides, just like I did in the last section. So I get -14 is less than t, which is less than 4. And now I'm going to graph, just like I did before. So I have my arbitrary 0, I got 4, I got -14. So I'm going to put open circles on both of them and shade between. And that's all there is to it. Okay, let's do another one. So here we go. Now, absolute value of x plus 2 is less than -1. Now, if we remember our definition of absolute value, we remember it's never negative. So can an absolute value be less than a negative number? No, less than a negative number is more negative. So no, this is impossible. This is absolutely impossible. So it cannot happen. So it is impossible, not possible. Absolute value can't be less than 0. And there you go. So we're done with that. Nothing to do with that one. All right, so absolute value of n minus 8 is less than or equal to 2. So it's a positive number, so it's then less than. So I'm making an and type problem. -2 is less than or equal to n minus 8 is less than or equal to 2. So there we go. So add 8 to all three sides. So I get 6 is less than or equal to n, which is less than or equal to 10. All right, so now we graph. We got our arbitrary 0, we got 6, and we got 10. We're going to do closed circles because it's the or equal to, and shade between. And there we go, done. All right, so now, next one, absolute value of 2c minus 5 is less than negative. Oh, less than negative. Can that happen? Can it be less than 0? Can it be less than a negative number? No, not possible again. Not possible because of right there. All right. So once again, we're done. Solve each open sentence, then graph the solution set. So the absolute value of 2x plus 8 is greater or equal to 6. So it's greater. So we create two problems in this case. So we have 2x plus 8 is greater than or equal to 6, or 2x plus 8 is less than or equal to, flip the sign and make it negative. So now we got two problems, -8, -8. So we have 2x is greater than or equal to -2, divide by 2. So we have x is greater than or equal to -1. Or, subtract 8, 2x is less than or equal to -14, divide by 2, so x is less than or equal to -7. Okay, so there we go. So now let's graph. So I got my arbitrary 0, so -1. So I have a closed circle, and it's follow the arrow. And then -7, another closed circle, variables on the left, so I follow the circle again. And there we go, and we're done. Okay, next one. The absolute value of 2y minus 1 is greater or equal to -4. Now again, once we know the definition of absolute value, always bigger than 0, 0 or more. Well, the absolute value is always going to be bigger than a negative number. So this is all real numbers. This is always true. So our answer is all real numbers. Absolute value is always bigger than a negative number, no matter what. So that means we're done. So knowing definitions really helps us out, saves us a lot of work. So next one, 2k plus 1. The absolute value of 2k plus 1 is greater than 7. So greater than 7, so make two problems. 2k plus 1 is greater than 7, or 2k plus 1 is now flip the sign and make negative. It's less than -7. So now I'm just going to solve. Subtract 1 from both sides. 2k is greater than 6, divide by 2. So k is greater than 3. And the next one, subtract 1, subtract 1. 2k is less than -8, divide by 2. So k is less than -4. Now we got a graph. Got my arbitrary 0. So I got 3. Now it's going to be open circle, variables on the left, so I follow the inequality arrow. Okay, and then we got -4, again, open circle, variables on the left, so follow the inequality. And there we go, and we're done. That's simple. Okay, next one. The absolute value of r minus 6 is greater than or equal to -5. Well, again, now we just talked about this. Absolute value is always greater than negative, so this is always true. So if it's always true, then there are infinite solutions. So you can say all real numbers are infinite solutions. Either one is fine. It tells us this exact same thing. All right. So now the pH is a measure of the acidity of a solution. The pH of a healthy human stomach is about 2.5 and is within 0.5 pH of this value. Find the range of pH levels of the stomach. So that means it's within a range. Okay. Now it's within 5, so it's got to be less than or equal to 0.5 to be within range. So whatever it is, so x minus 2.5 has to be less than the 0.5. So now I've created absolute value of x minus 2.5 is less than or equal to 0.5. So it's less than, all right, so I'm going to make -5, less than or -0.5, sorry. X minus 2.5 is less than or equal to 0.5. And now it's a simple game of solving. So plus 2.5 on all three. So here we get 2 is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 3. So our pH must be between 2 and 3 to have a healthy balance. So there is our range.